Well, well, well. Here we are. Hello. It's me, Jake. Welcome aboard. Welcome aboard for the daily briefing. Yeah, I've got the Mevo back in service. I know that's not it's not anyone's real favorite, but well, I guess I take it back. I do sort of like the Mevo. Oh gosh. The do not disturb setting on the phone is a bit confusing to me, as is the one on the iPad. But anyway, I think I've got that turned off or on as preferred by me. Hey Dave, good to see you, friend. What are we doing? What's happening today? I think this is how to turn this on.
Go back in service, I know.
Okay. Yeah. Great to see you, Flavia. Scott, good to see you. All is pretty well today, I have to say. Christopher, hello. Good to see you. Yeah, so far so good. Lady Jerry is home. Spoiler alert. I don't know if I'm supposed to tell you that, but that is what's going on. There, I think I've got the Mevo set to do its kooky autopilot magic. Michael, hello to you. Hello to you. I see Todd is watching as well. Todd, greetings, friend. Yes, I am so glad Lady Jerry is home too. She was in the hospital for, she came home on day 12, but she was in the hospital for just a week. And since she's been home, she's been doing quite good. We took a drive down to the beach and sat on a bench and watched the waves. Rainy Switzerland, Michael. Yes, well, it's been rainy like crazy here too. And thank you for that compliment. I feel pretty good. Rich, hello. Rachel, greetings. Yes, we're all glad that she's home. Ouija, you survived. I'm glad you survived. It's not easy to survive Christmas. Jen, hello. So yeah, she's back home. The stove, our new stove. Let's make this a little bit big. That's not so great. Our new stove got delivered, and we've got that installed in the kitchen. Unfortunately, 2 of the 5 burners are not working, so we're getting a replacement for the stove delivered tomorrow. Fingers crossed. Thanks to lovely Robert. Todd Snow in Chicago. Oh, Adrian, hello. Yes, I was just saying Belinda's home. She's home from the hospital. My neck looks really strong. Well, it is really strong, Craig, because I've been doing the iron neck. It's not here, but I have been working out with the iron neck and doing some other silly exercises. Laura, you're at the Miami airport. Your flight's been delayed an hour and a half. Well, I guess I'm imagining you'd be happy that it wasn't canceled from what I've been hearing about all these horrible airport stories. Scott, greetings to you. Belinda tells me you've been sending her some lovely things on the internet, and it's much appreciated. So yeah, we're waiting for the replacement stove to come in, but so far the electricity for the new stove is working, and half of the stove is working, so it's usable until its replacement comes. Meanwhile, the old gas stove is right outside that door, sitting in our yard, not getting rained on right now, but it'll get rained on tomorrow or the next day. And we've got we've had a lot of rain. So last week it rained. The day before the stove came, it rained so hard, and then I smelled smoke. And when I looked into it, took a little while to figure out what was going on. It was coming out of the heater, and then I opened up the trap door under the house, and I found that because of some landscaping that had happened, it never rains in California, and then finally when it does rain, you become aware of problems that you've caused. So the landscaping was causing some pooling, and it created this channel of water that went into the outdoor access for the crawl space, and that meant that under our house was filling up with water to where it came up to touch the bottom of the furnace, and that's what caused some kind of short circuit. Luckily, I turned the furnace off in time. A friend came over and helped me, thank goodness, offered to help me, otherwise I might have just ignored it. came over and helped me wet vac out the water. There was about 6 inches of water and probably 100 something gallons in this little box under where the stove is. But it was, that was not, I don't think it's going to be, I said to him, I don't think this is going to become a Christmas tradition. And it was a mess. And I haven't looked in the pit since then. I think I'd like to have another look in there in the next couple days just to make sure there's not more water going in. Norman, you haven't flown in 2 years and you don't plan on taking one? Yeah, I flew for the first time a month or so ago to Minneapolis, and it was great. I enjoyed the trip, but now I'm looking forward to going. I'm going to get on a plane to go to Boston for a corporate gig in January, mid-January, so I've got that going for me. The Mevo's misbehaving. Yeah, no, I hear you. I love and hate the Mevo. I like the wide, look at that shot. That's ridiculous. I like the wide angle, and I like the variation, but anyway, yeah, I don't know what to tell you about the Mevo. I do like the automation. They haven't kind of perfected it, but it keeps downloading new updates of software that are supposed to make it better. And I have to say, this version is slightly better than other versions of the software, prior versions. But yeah, they haven't quite perfected it yet. Anyway, it is Tuesday, and since for a long time now, we've been doing a children's Bible story on Tuesday. And so I do have today's children's Bible story. The subtitles are way behind. Well, Scott, you can't win them all as far as that. Your Christmas gifts did arrive, Rachel, and we opened them to much delight. Thank you very much. Much appreciated. I would say you shouldn't have, but I've said that already. You shouldn't have, Rachel. You're too kind. Thank you. The Mevo focuses more on the snowman in the poster than me. Yeah, well, it does like me, and technically I think it thinks that picture is a person, so that's why it boxes up. The next version is always a fix. Yeah, the next version is always a fix, like the stove. Michael, yeah, from your lips to Best Buy's ears. Let's alert the Geek Squad. You had a fan go out in your freezer, Todd. Look at YouTube, was unable to replace the part and get it working. Yeah, I just went over to try and help my neighbor relight his water heater, and that was a fail. Quickly, it's a gas water heater, and it has an electric kind of igniter, and I gave it a shot. But when natural gas is concerned, I follow the instructions. If that doesn't work, I bring in an expert. So that's what I suggested he did. So today's story from the Children's Bible is one that we've done before. I did realize that. It's the golden statue story. But anyway, King Nebuchadnezzar, king of the Babylonians, when last week or 2 weeks ago, whenever the last time we read the Bible, by the way, I meant to be here on Christmas Eve, but there was a possibility that Belinda was going to be released on Christmas Eve, and then it didn't happen. So there was a lot of alerts, and then the show time came and went. Anyway, that's why I wasn't here for Christmas Eve. But the golden statue, Nebuchadnezzar, the last time we visited, the Babylonians had captured all the PG&E lighted for him. Scott, thank you. I think I might have to, here we have SoCal Gas, but yeah, I suppose I could have had him call the gas company. That would have been another way to do it. Well, he's got the plumber coming tomorrow. Anyway, Nebuchadnezzar, king of the Babylonians, was tormented by bad dreams. Yeah, maybe it's from enslaving all the Israelites. He consulted wise men, astrologers, and magicians, but none could tell him what his dreams conveyed. I can't believe this. Because here in Los Angeles, you can't throw a rock without hitting somebody who's going to tell you what your dreams mean. But back in Bible times, that wasn't a racket that people had going. Eventually, who will know? There's nobody who'll tell me what this dream means. No one wants to take a shot. I'm the effing king. Nobody wants to take a shot at it. So eventually, the king lost patience and threatened them all with death. But still, none was found who could interpret the terrible image of his nightmares. Now, come on, really? Make up some happy story. They're going to kill you for crying out loud. I got an idea. I got an idea what your dream means. Ouija, you're saying he's dreaming of lotto numbers. Among the wise men was Daniel, a Judean, who had been captured by the Babylonians, enslaved. Okay. He was one of a group of young noblemen of exceptional intelligence, strength of character, and good looks. Oh, see, we're doing it to men now. Who had been chosen for special training. They always pick the hotties for special training. You know that's true. They had been taught the language and history of Babylon, and after 3 years had been taken into the king's service. That's 3 years. That's back then there was less stuff to know. So to get a college, well, now what the hell is wrong with that shot? Why would it do that? Okay, back then 3 years to get a college degree. Okay, they didn't. With Daniel and the 3 others from Judah, who were given new names by their captors, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, the 4 men became good friends. They were all clever and quick to learn, but Daniel had a special gift. He was able to interpret dreams. For crying out loud, everybody, how do we all not have that on our business card? You know what I mean? Crack salesman and able to interpret dreams. Mechanical engineer, able to interpret dreams. Licensed pharmacist, able to interpret dreams. That should be on all our business cards. And if it's not, there's your New Year's resolution. Having been sentenced to death with the others, Daniel went to the king. Please, sir, let us have more time. I'm sure that I will soon be able to tell you the meaning of your dreams. To this, Nebuchadnezzar assented, and Daniel and his boy, Daniel, you really. What kind of persuasive, like they're going to kill you and that's what you got, that's all you got to say to get a little more time? To this, Nebuchadnezzar assented, and Daniel and his 3 friends prayed to God for help. That night, God revealed the secret of the king's dreams. The next day, Daniel went to Nebuchadnezzar and said, God has told me what your wise men could not, and shown me the meaning of your dreams. Where'd you get those wise men? That's what I'd like to know. You know, did you just get them out of the phone book? Because if you're looking for wise men in the phone book, that's not the way to do it. Google is not also the best way to find wise men either. When you're looking for wise men, word of mouth, that's what pays off. As you slept, you saw a gigantic statue towering above you. Its head was sculpted of pure gold, chest and arms of silver, belly and thighs of bronze, and its legs iron, and its feet part iron, part clay. Ah, this is the feet of clay problem, and we all know this. We don't. Suddenly, a stone smashed against the statue's feet and shattered them, whereupon the entire structure of gold, silver, and bronze crashed to the ground, reduced to nothing but particles of dust. I don't know how that happens to gold, but okay. The wind blew the dust away, and the stone became a great mountain that covered the whole earth. Okay, it's a dream. It's not a thing that can really happen. Okay, I'll tell you the meaning of this, said Daniel. Of course, we already know the meaning. You gotta make the feet out of something solid. Make the head out of clay, or the hand. I mean, I don't even know. The statue's head of gold represents you, the great king. You're never going to lose. You're never going to lose money paying a compliment to the man in charge. Suck up to the boss. That's what I say. And the parts made of silver, bronze, iron, and clay are the empires, which shall come after yours. Some strong, some weak, and easily divided, none lasting forever. The statue is the kingdom of God. Oh, the stone, sorry, excuse me. The stone is the kingdom of God, and is greater than any kingdom on earth, and shall never be destroyed. Rocks. There you go. I don't think, there's not a real deep knowledge of volcanoes, and also the cracking, freezing. Rocks, everything's temporary. Anyway, but that's not what the Bible says. Nebuchadnezzar was so impressed with Daniel's wisdom that he knelt before him, swearing allegiance to his God, and loading him with treasure. He appointed Daniel governor of Babylon and chief of all of his advisors. Wow, just because he makes up some BS about a dream. He also gave important posts to Daniel's friends, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. So this is a big win for Daniel, and all he had to do was make up some flattering stuff about the king. Later, the king gave orders for a statue to be built 90 feet high, 9 feet wide, and made of solid gold. He set it up on the plain of Dura, which I don't know what kind of times you're living in where you can put a big statue made out of solid gold outdoors and count on nobody trying to break it to bits and melt it down. But these were simpler times. And then he orders all the officers and governors and captains and counselors to come to worship the statue as a god. Only Daniel and his friends refused. And Daniel's got to be thinking like, dude, did you not listen to me? God told me the interpretation of your dream, and now you're building a golden statue to celebrate that God told you the interpretation of your dream, and you're building a golden statue and telling people to worship that. You should be telling them to worship God. But Nebuchadnezzar learned that his order had been denied. This guy is an egomaniac, and flew into a rage and demanded that Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego be brought before him. "If you do not worship as I tell you," shouted the king, "I'll have you thrown in the fiery furnace and burnt to death." Well, this is the part that we all know from before. So they won't recant because they're men of God. They're God men. They trust this guy. Look, he interpreted dreams. We'll not worship your statue. Our God will save us from your furnace. Do your best, and we'll see you on the other side. I'm paraphrasing. Nebuchadnezzar, beside himself with rage, he's mad. These kings, they don't like it. They don't like it when you disagree with them. He has the furnace heated to 7 times its usual heat, which is not recommended. That's against the manual. If you read the manual of your furnace, it'll tell you, do not heat it to 7 times beyond its usual heat. This could cause you void the warranty on the furnace with that type of behavior. But Nebuchadnezzar is a rich king. Crying out loud, he just built a 9-foot tall statue out of solid gold, so he can afford as many furnaces as he needs. And as we watched, Nebuchadnezzar saw, to his astonishment, that the 3 men walked through the fire unharmed, and beside them stood an unknown 4th man. Who's the 4th man? I'll give you a hint. Spoiler alert, it's an angel. Okay, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego come out of the furnace, and the king tells him to come out. He's in awe. They stepped from the flames. Everyone saw that not a hair was singed, nor a thread of clothing was burnt. The furnace was trashed. Nebuchadnezzar took each in turn by the hand and said, "From this day, the Jewish people may worship their God, who sent an angel to rescue these men." And not only that, interpreted my silly dream. All right. And he vowed, "And I will decree that my people too shall worship only your God." Then he embraced the 3 friends, gave them positions of great power in the government of Babylon. Why doesn't he give them Israel back? I don't know, but that's a question for another day. Children's Bible. That's one of my favorite stories now. The first time we read it, I don't think I had heard of it before, but now suddenly it's familiar because I had read it before, and I really enjoy that one. So I have to say, hats off, pants off, dance off. I don't know where Keys has been all this time, but pants off, dance off. The golden statue, always a hit, and also the three furnace dudes, as I'm saying. Abednego, not a wine bottle size. I don't know what that. I'm not sure what that means, Scott. But yeah, okay. Just don't get 6 inches of water under the furnace. No, I don't recommend that either, Dave. That was a real problem. But I would never set it to 7 times its normal thing. Power zoom in the middle of the story. Yeah, Mary, I'm telling you, I'm just trusting Mevo to do what's right here, and it throws a wild card into the mix. I mean, obviously, we would all prefer if Lady Jerry could be here for the fun and games that we're having, but in absence of Lady Jerry, the Mevo is doing its best to liven up the show. All right, I'm just scrolling up to see if there's anyone. Scott, anyone picturing large bottles of wine? I hope so. Dave, you're controlling the Mevo with your mind. Yeah, that's the real problem. Jen, you're always picked for special training at work, but you don't think it's because you're a hottie? Don't sell yourself short, Jen. Everybody's a hottie to somebody, and I know you know that's true. Anyone catch the Netflix documentary Don't Look Up? Scott, we just watched it yesterday, Lady Jerry and I. Don't Look Up. Very good. I highly recommend Netflix Don't Look Up. It's a satire of the coronavirus, Donald Trump, Meryl Streep is terrific, science. But basically, my takeaway from Don't Look Up is, look, we're all going to do our best to try and understand the problem to the best of our ability, but we may not all be ever able to agree on what a productive solution would be. So the best solution is to love the people who love you and spend your time doing things that make you happy. That was my takeaway. But there you go. It's not even time for Seize the Day yet. Oh, you heard I took Belinda to the beach. Yes, we did take Belinda to the beach. Where are we going? So Jen, Belinda and I went to the beach today. She's home. She's feeling better. I think she's out of her most compromised immune state and back, maybe not all the way to normal, but we're not constantly worried. We're wiping off surfaces, but still she's got she's got the symptoms of flu. She can have she can have a little nausea, she can have a little diarrhea. She's very tired because she's lost some weight because she's been in bed all this time and she's been through an ordeal. But she's feeling better. Her conversation-wise, she's doing great. Her hair is falling out now, so she's almost lost her hair. She's wearing a hat most of the time, which looks great. But when she takes the hat off, then she does look like a cancer patient. Her facial palsy hasn't completely gone away. In fact, that's still kind of a bit of a problem. But her morale is good. She's feeling much better. She's able to rest, come downstairs, have meals with us. I think tonight she'll eat some red beans and rice and shrimp etouffee left from Christmas. And she's just tired and she's recovering now. But she's on the journey back, and hopefully we'll get a conversation with her new oncologist, Dr. Larson, who's overseeing the stem cell transplant. We'll get a conversation with that doctor, because the way it works is that doctor puts you on the track to get the stem cell transplant, and then you're kind of in that system inside of a system with those caregivers who are specialized in that, overseeing the process as it goes along. And now it's time for us to kind of go back and have a visit with the overall supervising doctor and see what she says about where Belinda's at and when she might be able to have people come and visit with masks on, or God forbid I might be able to go and do jujitsu, or even I think Belinda feels well enough that I could run to the grocery store and back, which at first they said I've got to sleep in the same room with her in case she gets incapacitated in the night. But that's not a thing that's actually in danger of happening right now. So I spent the first night home. I spent Christmas night in bed with Belinda for the first time since June, because I was trying not to inhale, exhale around her with the mask off. The doctor said I should. And then we both had Belinda was snoring like a lumberjack, and she said I was also snoring. And so the next night I went and back to the camper. So the past couple nights I've been in the camper again, the Kimbo, and we've been getting good night's sleep, and we've been having nice days. And I think we'll go to the beach again tomorrow. Well, it's supposed to rain tomorrow, so we'll go to the beach the next time it's not raining. And little by little, we're making progress and moving forward. So that's what's happening. Where are we down here? Mevo really likes the picture frame, Jake. Yeah, no, I know. I don't understand what Mevo's doing, and I'm gonna maybe turn it off later. But friend recommended. Don't Look Up. Yeah, I enjoyed it. pick. You're not making a list of New Year's resolutions. You're just resolving to be more positive. I think that's a good way. I think that's a good type of New Year's resolution. I'm trying not to get. I'm trying not to let myself get caught up in anger or depression. Not take my feelings too seriously, but acknowledge them. Flavia, Belinda is so strong. She is very strong. And as someone who's been, there's a lot of people who say they would like to have a strong wife, but it's more powerful than you think. Todd, love to Belinda and everyone else in my family. Thank you, sir. Yeah, it does all sound good. We're all getting through it. Dave, yeah, the timing of the Kimbo purchase has worked out. Well, as an extra bedroom, the Kimbo is working out terrific. I'm really enjoying it. I was just getting up this morning thinking, I can't wait to put this on the truck and for Lady Jerry and I to be able to go out and have an adventure. And that's going to happen. That's going to happen in 2022 for sure. Jen, you've been thinking of Belinda so often. It's really great to hear she's home getting stronger. Hair is overrated. Yeah. By the time your hair falls out, if you've got anyone who's dealing with cancer, I can tell you, at least from my experience observing my wife, who's been dealing in a very powerful way with this cancer, by the time your hair falls out, it is so not a problem. You have got so many bigger fish to fry, as they say, and she is beautiful. And you don't really, when she's wearing the hat, you don't notice. When she takes it off, it's a little startling because I'm not used to seeing her that way. But she looks great. Her skin looks great, and she's laughing and having a good time. Craig, you're saying glad she's recovering. Sorry to hear she's having to go through that. Yeah, boy. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. A strong wife is good. It helps that I'm such a kind husband. Rich. Rich. You guys, man, this Jake Fest, if we actually pull Jake Fest off, it is going to be such a love fest. I have to say, I am weeping all the time now. And so I am going to have a little bit of a blub at Jake Fest as I cry on all of you people for how fabulous and supportive you've been. Don't Look Up on Netflix. Recommend that. We've been watching also Silent Night, which we had to pay $4 to rent, and we've got to watch the last half of it tonight. And that was pretty good. Sending us virtual chocolate and cheese fondue for Belinda's recovery. Michael, thank you. I love a nice cheese and chocolate fondue. Not together, right? That's two separate things. Cindy, you're saying you had more compliments about your hair when it grew back than when it was a full head. Yeah, well, I'll tell Belinda. I'm hoping that that's what's going to happen. Jen, am I shaving your head in solidarity? No. I don't think you should do that. I don't think you should do that, Jen. But let me tell you something. I'm going to try and be here on Friday, Lord willing. I don't think I can be here tomorrow. Let's just say this. I'm going to try and be here on Thursday because then she doesn't have a doctor's appointment. She has another a doctor on Friday, so I don't know if I'll be home in time for that. So next show will be Thursday, and I'll let you know. But right now, let's nobody shave their heads. Let's all just hang on to our hair. Trina, it's good to see you. You're here just in time for Seize the Day. And Trina, if you'd like an update on Belinda, you can check the earlier in the show. It's Seize the Day. It's time for Seize the Day. All right. So today's Seize the Day, one of the last Seize the Day of the year is from Stephen Wright. Amazing comedian from just prior to me. Dave, you're just pulling out the clippers? You know what? You have my permission to go for it if you like. Don't shave your head if you don't want to shave your head, but if you want to shave your head, it's go time, baby. Stephen Wright, you can't have everything. Where would you put it? And then Rachel has written underneath, answer, Jake's office. Insert rim shot. Ba-doom boom. So that was a kind of a funny Seize the Day. Maybe we'll have another Seize the Day here. Here we go. Let's do Gary Zukov. A rare double-header Seize the Day. Gary Zukov. When the deepest part of you becomes engaged in what you're doing, when your activities and actions become gratifying and purposeful, when what you do serves both yourself and others, when you do not tire within, but seek the sweet satisfaction of your life and your work, you're doing what you were meant to be doing. So I do sometimes feel that way about this show. It's not financially rewarding, but next year I'm going to try and start a Patreon to give people a chance to support me in the show if they like. And I'm going to get my website up and moving. I'm going to put my schedule online, and I'm going to have a little bit of a tour to a few places. Hopefully we'll be able to get together for Jake Fest. I'm not ruling Jake Fest out. I believe that that is a possibility, and I would love to figure out a way to make it happen. Trina, yeah, get out there, seize the day. I hope you're all well. This year, not my favorite year, possibly my least favorite year. Highly possible. I mean, we won't know until it's over. And that is the end of my life. And then there's not going to be really time for an award ceremony. But this may be the least favorite year of my life. And I'd love to follow that up with my favorite year of my life so far. Always got to throw that in there when you're talking about the best so far. So 2022, best year of our lives. That's what we're going for. So pull out all the stops. Do whatever you need to do to finish this year off. Put it to bed. Write down your regrets. Light them on fire. And then write down your dreams and put them in your pocket next to your heart. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. And be nice to a jerk. I'm still convinced that's how we're going to get through this. And last but not least, don't give up. There'll be plenty of time to give up later. And and it's not going to be in 2022, because that's going to be the best year of our lives. All right. Thanks, you guys. Love you. Look forward to seeing you Thursday and possibly Friday. Okay.